Hey, welcome back to the channel. If it's the first time you're joining us, we are building a TMNT collection. We've been spending the last year plus searching out as many TMNT figures as we can find. Loose, carded, you name it. And this is a weekly update to show you what's arrived in the post. I think the theme this week is going to be dreadful packaging. There's 3 arrivals. The bottom one's great. The bottom one is sort of the example of how to post stuff out. If you're selling, old figures on card and plastic, which can get squished and broken and torn and whatever else, then a half decent cover box is gonna go some way to protecting things. Unfortunately, as you'll see with these, I mean, what on earth is this going to do when it comes to protecting something? This is a figure literally just in a bag, essentially. But anyway, I'll get this camera fixed and then we can have a butcher's. Let's go. Right, so let's get into it. This is perfect example. I have already opened it. You'll see with the 2 parcels in question today, I've already opened them up. This one, the first one, is a carded snakeweed figure. Now, I don't care about little creases here and there. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. But when you then get it posted out in what is literally a limp plastic bag, no bubble wrap, no other packaging at all, and of course what's happened, I'm not sure if you can see this in the light, something's obviously bashed this front area here, dented it all, popped it all off this corner. The whole purpose of buying them carded is that you can retain the look of it from when it was on the shelf hanging up. It would cost no more to put it in a box. All right, I appreciate you've got to find a box. Maybe that's a bit of a ball ache. But again, if you're selling stuff like this that is supposed to be new, on the card new, why would you not take the effort? Anyway, so this is the first one. The figure itself is fine. I've got no issues with the figure. The figure is protected in by the plastic in the card, but unfortunately the packaging has been bashed on this corner, and that has spoilt the final look of it. The card itself is not too bad. It's got a few dents at the top, but then, as I say, that doesn't really bother me. I think if this had not been squashed in the post, I think we'd have had a really lovely condition figure there. I will give some credit to the seller, although it took him an age to do it, and I was backwards and forwards with him. He did issue a partial refund. So yeah, we agreed on a figure that he was happy to refund, and I was happy to go with as well, so that at least I don't feel as though I've overpaid for it. But it's just a shame. I mean, I've ended up with a product that is not quite what I wanted. He's ended up with less money in his pocket, all for the sake of a cardboard box, and maybe a little bit of bubble wrap or whatever. I mean, I've had people use newspaper, anything just to pack it out. You haven't got to buy shed loads of packing equipment, packing materials, that sort of thing. I don't know. It seems so easy to me. On the rare occasions I sell stuff on eBay, which I do sometimes, often sort of if I get doubles of things, and I might sell them on and put the money back into the collection. I'll always try and go like almost overboard, if anything, partly to preserve the item, of course, and make sure it gets there in good condition, but as much so that I'm not dealing with the nonsense afterward, refunds or returns or any of that. So anyway, that's the first one. This is the second one. So this is slightly less bad in the sense that the guy has clearly tried to use additional packaging. This was the bag he sent it in. I mean, this is as useless as the previous seller. He has put fragile on it, which, you know, okay, fair play. You know, you're letting the handlers know, I guess, that it is an item that they need to take care of. But I mean, you need to make sure whatever you're sending out is properly packaged to, yeah, give it the best chance of getting where it's got to go, particularly if it's traveling long distances. So, but anyway, he had put fragile on it. Give him credit for that. And then he's obviously wrapped it in, it wasn't as loose as this. I've obviously just re-wrapped this so you can't see the item. But he had put this sort of, I don't know, foamy stuff around it. And he had used a little bit of bubble wrap as well. So, okay, he's gone a little bit further than the previous guy. But ultimately, it is still sat in a bag, isn't it? So there's nothing around it providing any real, it shouldn't get rubbed. But ultimately, if something hits it, there's no protection that bubble wrap is going to make, or a bag is going to make. And so, what we've ended up with is, this is the figure we ordered. It is the Alien Hunter Michelangelo. Really cool figure. Love the figure. And again, the figure itself, fine. If you're buying stuff to open all these, no issues. Yeah, no issues at all, because you're just going to rip all this off and not care. But I like to preserve the packaging. If I'm buying loose figures, I'll buy loose figures. You know, if I'm buying stuff that's carded, it's nice to see it preserved. And again, now this is not as bad as the last one. I say he had put some other protection around it. And if you look at it, you know, first glance, not too bad. But then what you realise is that, again, it's just got a bang. Top corner here, something's obviously bashed it and has made a big old dink on the plastic on the top here, which again wasn't in the listing. Now this is clearly not as bad as the other one, because actually you can display it and the front looks great. So I've not gone back to the guy. I'm not, you know, gonna ask for any discount or anything, because as far as I'm concerned, it is a fairly minor thing. But again, you know, if that had been in the box, almost certainly that would have not happened, because you'd have had the whole thing protected. That would have been inside the box when it's surrounded by all the other stuff, and yeah, it would have arrived in one piece. So there we go. Getting on to the actual figure, I mean, this is a cracking figure. I only have, do I have any of these? I don't think I have any of the TMNT sort of 2007 movie figures on the card. And this is excellent. Really like this. Obviously comes with a whole load of accessories, including these cool helmets. You can get a little bit of an idea of the figures you can get for the set. These are some fantastic figures. Really, really cool figures. Yeah, well pleased with that. Just a little bit annoying about the sort of damage in the post, again through a lack of care from the seller. Right. So let's show how it should be done. So again, similar sort of size figure, and this, you know, decent box. As soon as you open it up, you see that, you can see you've got bubble wrap. They've padded it around the edges as well with a load of packaging. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? It's also got padding under it as well, underneath there, so you know. And there you go. So this figure, having just said we've not got any other TMNT 2007 figures, this is exactly that. This is the Splinter figure. I do own some of these loose, not carded, but I do own some of these loose. And this is one that I don't have. So I'd been watching it for a while. It was a seller that was sort of proactively bringing the price level down each time he relisted it, I guess, to find its level. And yeah, I decided to go for it. Really cool figure, this. Quite a unique interpretation of Splinter. But yeah, really like this figure. This is the one that comes from the first wave, as far as I know. Got the 4 turtles I have all these loose. I've also got this Foot Ninja loose as well. I don't have any of these other creatures and villains. I don't have Karai or anything like that. Wouldn't mind, of course, getting those. And I don't have April O'Neil or Casey Jones. Again, those are figures, particularly Casey Jones. I'd quite like to get that one if we can. But we've now added the Splinter figure in. Yeah, so that to me looks to be in pretty much perfect condition, exactly as it was photographed on the listing. And it's not costing any more money to send out. I suppose you could argue he's used that packaging, so if you don't have a bit of bubble wrap or something knocking about, but like I say, you can use other things. I mean, people use bits of, I've had all sorts of boxes. I mean, just on this channel you'll see, you will have seen a whole load of different things arriving. I don't care if it's a repurposed box from something you've bought and you're using again. It hasn't got to be made to measure, it hasn't got to be you haven't got to use parcel tape. You can bodge together how you like. Just stick it in a box, stick something around it to protect it. Everyone's a winner. Anyway, bit of a moan. This isn't going to be a theme. I just sort of happened to have these parcels come close together and thought, oh, do you know what? I remember a while back, this is probably back in the last year, I had one parcel arrive. I'll stick a picture on the screen, and literally, like, out of the parcel, someone sort of just wrapped it in a ball of stuff, and the corner of the cardboard was literally sticking out of the packaging. I mean, that is probably the worst I've ever had. Although saying that, I mean, the actual thing itself was wrapped in bubble wrap or something. So maybe this. Where are we? Maybe this is the worst one. I can't think of many occasions where I've just had a figure stuck in a bag and put out to post. And I'm really cheesed off about that, because you can see it. It's just a light catch, you can see it. But anyway, we're not going to go on about it. It's not the end of the world. It's first world problems and all that. It's just frustrating. But there you go. Let's hope that we won't get any more items sent like this, and maybe down the road we'll get another one of these pop up for a decent price. I'm going to try and see if I can pop that out and get it looking as good as possible so we can display it. But there we go. Thanks for watching. We probably need to do an update at some point regarding the 25 and 2025 challenge and how many we've got off of that. I'll probably do something off that at some point. And there's no question that it's the figures I'm able to find now that we need for the collection are getting less and less. And so while we'll continue to search for those new figures to complete lines, complete challenges, and add to the collection, we also start to maybe look at what we've got in terms of what we've been collecting over the last year and how far we've got with each line and that sort of thing. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it or not, but I've also thought about maybe going through some of my video game collections in more detail. You'll probably see in the background here, there's all sorts of bits and bobs that I haven't yet shown on the channel, particularly the older stuff like Mega Drive, that sort of thing. If there's any interest in that, then perhaps pop something in the comments and let me know. Again, it's something else I can do. I started the channel with a couple of video game collections, and as I was working through, just then went on to the turtle stuff, and I've kind of got a bit carried away with it, really. So yeah, I might well do a few video game related videos as well, but we'll see how we go on that. Right, I better shut up because this is going to be a long video otherwise. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for the complaining. Obviously, the vast majority of things I've bought have been really carefully packaged and have arrived in lovely order. It's just one or two one or two people that just perhaps need to put a little bit more thought into what they are doing. Right, have a good one. Thank you so much for following the channel, watching, subscribing if you have done. If you can give it a like or a subscribe, I'll be super grateful to keep the channel growing throughout 2025. Right, we'll leave it there, I think. Thanks ever so much. Take it easy.